Hello, everyone. Welcome to Paradigm Shift. My name is Patrick Barfi. What is a paradigm or paradigm shift? Do you guys know what a paradigm shift is? Well, I'll give you an example. Let me tell you a story that once heard on the internet about paradigm shift. Once upon a time, there was a blind man who got into a crowded bus, and there was only standing room in this bus. And there was a man on this bus that saw the blind man and gave up his seat for this blind man. I know you think this might be a good thing, or I know, when you see this story, you know it's going to be a good thing. But no, it was a bad, bad thing. And it got him fired at his job. Why? Because he was the bus driver. You see, that thing that happened right there is what is called a paradigm shift. You see, you thought you knew everything. You thought, that was a good thing. But you didn't know all the story. And you didn't have all the information. And once you had all that information, everything changed. A good thing became a bad thing. To me, it's like, it's kind of like seeing how a magic trick is done. Well, once you see that illusion, you can't be fooled by it again, right? So we should sort the right information that can shift our paradigm. See, like I said earlier on, every Wednesday we talk about paradigm shift. Subscribe to the Patrick Barfi YouTube channel and you get this paradigm shift. Every Wednesday you get a show. Today we're going to talk to this young man. I think we've talked to him before, and we're going to go way further. Very brilliant, very elaborated guy who is doing a lot and want to go do more for our community. We're going to talk to him and see what he's going to bring to our community. Mr. George.
Yes, sir.
Now, what's going on? How's the family and everyone?
Yeah, we're just having a family time now. So, my little
Sunday.
girl. Yeah, Sunday. We went for church, and after church, came home to make some pizza, and we will be going for shopping soon. But I think it'll be great to talk about how we can help improve
Our community.
Our community and our
shift and make people change their
Yes.
thinking, their perspective.
Yes.
Yeah, because whatever the things we've known up to this point hasn't really helped us.
No.
So it's always good to see guys like you that are doing different things, that want to bring more things into our community for them to look at that at a different perspective,
Mm-hmm.
I know we've talked to you before, but not everyone have really maybe seen that each other we did. So I would just want you to introduce yourself a little bit, then we'll go from there.
Yeah, I'm George. George Ansan Akomia. I'm a country director for how do you call it? Co-founder and country director for Route Without Borders, which is also an NGO in Canada, and I'm also the owner of renovations, constructions in Canada as well. I was a former country director in Ghana with Alma Mater Education, so at least have a little bit of a rich background when it comes to experience and trying to build career. So yes, that's what I would say.
But at the moment, you are in Canada.
Yes, I'm in Canada right now.
I know we've talked about how you got there and everything. We're not going to go back there.
Yes.
But in the process where we're talking, we found out that there are so many things that you intend, and even you are doing it, that is going to help our community back home.
Mhm.
So, I want to start from there. What is your, I mean, when I talk about your career, what is it that you actually doing right now?
Right now, I'm into construction, but I think with my construction business, I see the biggest market in Africa and Ghana. And during my study here, I did sustainable construction. And sustainable construction, the program I did is one of the best in the world right now. Uh, um, but during my study, my focus, even though I was in Canada, my focus was all in Ghana. Ghana, like how I can incorporate everything I'm learning here in Ghana. So, for instance, when we were doing our our studies, all my research were based on materials that were back home in Ghana. So I even have to import like palm kernel shells, neem oil, moringa oil, because this were the product I was using for my research. I was mostly interested in material science.
Oh,
So
hold on. So all this oil can and all that, is it part of the building thing or what?
oh yes, 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 yes. I was going to explain to you why I imported them. For
All
the
right.
moringa and the neem oil, they were so. I was kind of thinking that for almost 400 years, 500 years now, our forefathers have been building with clay, but we've not had any modern system to advance on using the same material, but actually like polishing them to a modern standard, right? So all our clay buildings that we have in Ghana look so, like in bad shape, and nobody wants to build with such materials. Anybody that builds with clay, the context of our people is that maybe the person is poor, right? But during my program here, we're building houses almost $1 million using the same clay, straw, and other materials. So I got interested in how I can advance, how to be able to advance in, what we have down there, but using the same material, by making it more polished. So I thought of how do we do like a waterproof paint, right? To paint clay walls. So then I started doing research. So doing my research, we came out with so many products that you can use, but those were, after we do the test, it didn't work out. So then I found moringa and neem. So the moringa and neem, then I started digging into it, and I said, oh, okay, these are materials that are already in Ghana. So we can make like one sustainable paint or like paint out of it. Um, that we can use to paint like clay walls that will make it waterproof, right? So I started digging into it. Then I talked to my professor. I said, "Yeah, like give it a try." So I have to import them from Ghana, and then took it to the lab, did some engineering, get it going. Then God being so good, yeah, I came out with a solution. So
Okay.
I did it. We added a pigment to it. The pigment is the color, right? No paint have different colors. So we did it, with different ratios and added a pigment to it. We made a flat clay wall. Then I put on the paint I made. And whenever I pour, like when it dried and I poured water on it, the water will stay on till we come back to our class the next day. So by the time we come to class the next day, we see that the water is dried, but the clay is still like what dried. It's not wet. So
Oh,
I had about 6 or 7 samples, but I was able to get the one I was looking for in there. So I got the sample with all the ratios and everything. And I said, wow. So it means that we can advance on our clay buildings, plaster them properly, because it's all about ratio. Even with the plastering, how to make it more look like a cement plastering, there's a ratio of how you mix your sand, you mix your clay, like how much quantity of clay you need, how much sand you need, and to be able to get it the proper ratio you need to advance on display buildings, right? So I got that, and I was also looking at, because here in the building market, there are like 10 or 15 products that we use for building, right? Like, you know, uh, 1 second. Can I check on my kid? Adeline?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Adeline? Ready?
Go, 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 go. um, Forgive us. We are family people here, so we know um, when it comes to checking up on your kid, you have to do it. You have to do it. So pardon me a little bit and wait for um, him to come. Oh, mute. Okay.
So
She's good, right?
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so I realized that there are a lot of different products that we use, different concrete, different, materials that are used in construction here. But if you come to our end in Ghana, it's either bricks and mortar, right? The other alternatives that we have, are mostly like clay buildings, right? We have like more than 10 or 15 building materials that are even local. But the only thing we are not doing is advancing on them, right? Engineering them so we can make them available. Because when the building materials are there, here it's like, yeah, some of the materials are expensive, but labor is more expensive than the
Oh,
materials.
always, always, always.
Yes. But in our end, like, yeah, even the whole construction system is not structured well, right? It's not structured well. Not because I don't know, but the system is just the way it is. So we are looking at how we can be able to advance in our system. So for me, I see.
Especially the things that that we can that we are just throwing away, or we
Yes.
are not. Yeah, I think when you see that, those
Yes.
things, when you see them, it's like, ooh, man,
Yes.
this is money.
Yeah, exactly. To be
Yeah,
honest,
this
like I
is
told you,
money.
there are other materials that I know right now. I cannot say them because, like,
Mhm.
it's as a businessman or as a trade person,
Yeah,
uh, you have to have a trade secret, right? You can
yeah,
reveal everything because
yeah.
other people are listening.
Not at this time until everything is in the market. Yeah,
And
yeah.
uh, so our goal is to build affordable houses for the upcoming young people, single parents, the youth that are coming, make it more affordable. Right now, if I ask, like, how much does it cost to build a one-bedroom house in Ghana, the numbers are going to be different, right? There's no specific number to how much it will cost to build a one-bedroom house. But that's the difference we want to make, right? We want to make sure that between 70 to $80,000 cities, you should be able to build a one-bedroom house. Somebody might say it's not possible, but yes, we are not into challenge people that says it's not possible because there's nothing possible in Ghana. Nothing is possible. Everybody thinks everything without um, traveling outside, you cannot make it. Oh, you can do this, right?
Yeah.
But we have the means, we have the resources, we have identified the materials, and we are still researching in them and making sure that when we hit the ground, we know what we're doing.
So the focus, folks, make sure you share. Our brother got something good for us, and I know, as we talk, you hear, you're gonna know what is coming up next.
Yeah.
And also, like I said, subscribe to this channel about the paradigm shift. There are so many people that have really shifted their paradigms, and we talk to them. I always say there are two ways that you can shift your paradigm. Either you wait for an event to happen, or you can start reading, or listen to a program like this, or that's the only two.
Mhm.
But the good thing is you don't have to wait for something event to happen. You can always approach it first by reading, listening to a program like this, or going to seminars. So you can join us here all the time every Wednesday for a paradigm shift for free. All you got to do is subscribe to the Patrick Barfi YouTube channel, and you'll be linked whenever there's a program going on. So let's see. So right now the whole focus is one. You have to make it. You want to make it like a standard, making sure if you have between 50 to 70 Ghana thousand, then you are sure of. You want to make sure you come up with something that would be very standard.
You can own
So
a
like,
house.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I said like if you have that amount of money, you can own a house, right?
Yes.
So we having prototypes that we've designed already. One bedroom house, the prototype. So when the time gets down and we start rolling them, and our buildings are going to be very efficient. Very, if I say efficient, like the reason why I use the word efficient is that um, the amount of electricity you use to power your house, right? If I say power your house, we live in a hot country, but we power our house with air conditioning,
Mhm.
right? So is we are just
That was my next question, because I know clay and the cementing. I got this from you, where
yes,
you said, yeah, yeah. If you can also after that elaborate on that, how that can help us also, instead of.
yes. So yes, we are not going to use only clay, right? Like we're using the big bricks, but we're going to insulate our walls so that they withstand heat, right? They
Mhm.
reflect heat instead of because here in a cold country, we insulate our walls so that they kind of help to contain the heat in the building, right? So if you are heating your building here, the insulations are such that they don't let the heat escape. The same
Stays in there.
applies, yeah, the same applies to when you are using the air conditioning to power your house here. So it's both back and forth, right? So on the contrary to our country, where we are in a hot country, what we only need to work against is how we can prevent the heat from transferring into our buildings, right? So that we don't have to use so much electricity to power our buildings during very very hot times, or when we are all going to bed and you see that it's just during those days that electricity were not stable. People were sleeping outside. People were using
Yeah.
generators. People were even dying out of this, right? Uh,
Very uncomfortable situations in
exactly,
Aruba. Yeah.
exactly. Because what we have refused to do is to steady our buildings, right? We need to have more institutions, or even our building and road research institute. I believe they've done a lot of research to prove that like what I'm saying is true, right? But how do we get these things implemented in our building code, right? So that we can then be able to have our electricity stable. As much like the country can produce as much hydro as they can, but we'll still face the same challenge if we are not working towards how we can minimize the use. Like we can, because if our building alone is absorbing all the, just using electricity to power our buildings just to get it cold, and we live in a hot country, so it's never going to get cold. It's
Yeah.
going to be hot all the time.
So it's
So
about time we find solution to that, and you're coming
exactly,
up with something like that. So it's very,
yes,
very important. Very
right? It's
important.
very
We,
important. So
yeah,
that's our goal. Like our buildings are going to be very efficient. It's going to save people a lot of money, right? And it's also going to be very affordable. The reason why it's going to be affordable is because we want to steady our economy to build our houses, and the artistic of our building, it will be more advanced than what we have, just the bricks and mortar, right?
yeah,
When the time comes, we will invite people to come in there, and then we'll invite engineers, people themselves to come testify and know that what we're doing, we know what we're doing. Okay, so beside that, these are some of our job markets. So what we want to do also is to partner with small scale businesses, right? Small scale businesses build houses, or like um, small factories for them, which will be more affordable, because we want to be able to change the landscape of our building in Ghana a little bit, right? Just shying away from the bricks and mortar and trying to use our local materials to build very nice houses. So for instance, let's say you have a choba operator who operates at the roadside, and open air pollution, and all these are things I'm not saying they are bad, but in terms of upgrading their system, we give them a nice beautiful building where they can cook their food without
too
coming,
much dust.
yes, without that, without having the heat,
Yeah.
enjoying the heat while they are cooking, right?
Yeah.
Because I also uh, I did cook stove. When I was in Ghana, we did research in how we can advance in our cooking stove, the open stove system, right? They can still use the firewood, but it's going to be smokeless. There's not going to be any smoke in your kitchen. It's going to be pretty clean. So when we build such houses or such buildings for them, the only thing we need from them is a premium payment. So the premium payment is that how much food you sell through the facility, we get a percentage of the profit, right? Instead of paying us per month, because some of them are using almost like 500 or 1,000 cities as a whole capital to run a business. So
So this is like a partnership you want to do,
oh
right?
yes.
Okay.
It's a partnership. So as soon as we get a facility for them, all they need to do is just sell their food. They cook, sell, then we get a just a percentage from their profit they make. So that you win, I win. But if you try to screw us up, then we kick you out, bring somebody else, right?
So if I'm hearing right, that means you will the building you guys will build a building completely
yes, we
without them
finance.
funding anything.
Yes,
You build them. See, let's say you build and finance it, right?
yes,
And okay, now I get what I think we will get to that part later on. Not
yes.
now. If we so now
Yes.
let me ask you what are you doing right now on the ground in Ghana?
Right now we're building our headquarters.
Okay.
So our headquarters is a 3-story with an underground. So the underground is going to be like a storage room for our equipment that we bring into Ghana. Because we are going to be making almost 70% of our materials that we use to build, we make it ourselves. Our cement, our flooring, right? Instead of the tiles, we have vinyl flooring, and they are all going to be made out of materials in Ghana. So
Mm.
we can make vinyl flooring or composite flooring from pumpkin shells. The pumpkin shells we
The
can make
financials.
them, right. Like I said, I don't want to mention all the products.
Yeah.
We can make all of them from so like 70% of the material we're going to use are just going to be raw materials that are currently most of them are garbage in Ghana. So we recycle them, we reproduce, put them in a proper advance, and then we used to build very, very nice houses.
So when you say you're building the headquarters, it's not like office, just office, but I mean like a factory that
Yes.
you would. Okay, okay, all
Yes.
right. So
So
it's not going to be separate. The office is not going to be maybe separate from.
so we're going to have two sections. So the head office is going to be office, yes, but also we have a factory where we'll be making the cement, right? So with the cement like this,
And
we have to
everything.
build like a dome where we heat all our materials, re-engineer them. We have like a warehouse where we are going to stock all these materials that we've identified. So when I hit the ground, when I get to Ghana today, tomorrow we are packing all these materials because I'll be there myself. We'll be doing it myself. I will have to go with the people. We gather it in a truck or whatever. We take it to the warehouse, start processing them. So we have a factory where we'll be making our materials first. So when I say we're building a house, it takes us 3 months just to put a building up, right? So that it's not like the way we build in Ghana. You build the foundation, it will take you another 5-6 years to. So when we hit the ground, it's just 3 months. The building is ready
It's
because
ready.
yeah,
Wow.
we have all the pieces, everything all together, and every building that we have to. Even let's say we also have a renovation program. I'll talk about that. So say if we have to build a house, it's a complete system. We have an architectural that designed the house. We have an engineer that we work with. So I already have the team down there. I have an architect, an engineer who works with he's a lecturer at I think the Sustainable University in Kosovo or somewhere like that. That's where our engineer and architect works. I already have team in Ghana that some of them are already working down there. So
That was about my next question was for the start. How many people were you going to employ and all that? But it looks as if you got to go. What about the laborers that those high schools, the architect and all that? But are you for the start? Are you bringing in more people?
yes. So if you look at for our construction program, what we do is that, yes, we have. So I have a. So what I did initially was that I contacted a friend that worked at Obuasi Tech, right? When I started working on this project. So my intention was that I tried to use the local masons, right, to do most of the work, but it's so difficult because what I'm dealing with here, we have a lot of building science, like a lot of science in what we do, right? So if I'm trying to explain the concept to somebody, just a local
Different.
mason down there, is very
It's
difficult,
different. It's
right?
different. Yeah.
So you tell them that, okay, we need half inch here, we need half inch there, we need this. They will say, no, 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 no. In Ghana, this is how we do it, right? So it cost me a lot of money to break walls down, to do this, because you tell them do it this way, and
They do it differently.
they'll do it
So that
differently.
means you have to bring it down again and start all
Yes,
over. Okay.
because that
So
is
you
not
have to be there. So this
exactly.
means you have to bring people in, teach them to follow whatever you
No,
want them to do.
yes, but what I started thinking was that I said, okay, let me think outside the box. So I then decided to look into the young ones that are already in school, right? So then I talked to a friend that was a teacher in Obuasi Tech. So we formed like a WhatsApp group where I started recruiting these young guys that are already in school.
In school. Okay.
And I realized that it was pretty easy to explain a concept to them, right? Pretty easy, because then they can understand what I mean, right? Because even if they are laying a block and I tell them that the mortar you put another block shouldn't be more than half inch, right? The mason will put almost like almost like 3 or 4 inches thickness of mortar, right? That is so much waste. But if you look at the waste of materials in our construction system, that's why it's so expensive just to put up a 1 bedroom house, because the waste alone can build something else, right? So I try to then streamline. So with the people that were coming from, I saw that they were coming from educational background, it was a little bit easier to talk to them, to explain to them, for them to get what I was trying to achieve, right? Because I didn't always want to be down there to get a project going. But most of the things they are doing are very primary. But the main, like the main stuff, I have to be down there to get it going, right?
All
So,
right. So the next question is, for the start, are you going to finance it or it's going to be cash?
uh, what do you mean by cash and
No, I mean,
finance?
so finance, I mean, you will let them, like here, you pay, they pay maybe down payment and start financing. That
So,
means you have to take the hit, or are you working with the bank that are going to do the finance part, or is it going to be, hey, cash and carry? This is my money. Maybe you
no,
pay in two
yeah,
parts, or yeah.
yeah. We have an open system. So the open system is that if the person has the money and want to do it, right?
Okay.
It's it's we can build for the person, right?
Mhm.
Uh, and then we also have the finance system where you don't have the money, but we look at your project, right? If your project can yield enough money, because if you tell us that you have a project that makes very good money, you don't just tell us. We bring our people there. I have somebody that does numbers. So he did actuarial science in UCC. So what he does is that he understands numbers very well. So if you tell us about your project, I bring him there. He comes to stay with you. Then he takes data of how much customers you get. Oh, sweetie, he takes data of how
Yeah,
much.
leave her alone. Mhm.
Sweetie, can I speak, please? So he takes data of like how much customers you get in a day, how much sales you make in a day, so that we can understand that if we are investing, say, 100,000 in your project to just get a facility for you, get everything you need, so you can get your business going. How much are we going to see coming in the account by day, right? So these are things we do before. If we have to 100% finance it, then we finance it, right? Then we
But I
also
was
look,
talking of, oh, go ahead. Finish it. Finish it.
we also look at where, let's say, we see that you are very vibrant, you have the capital, so we can do a 50%. Then the 50% will be through like a long-term payment, right? But in terms of partnership, will always be with you till whenever you think you don't need us. Because for the building, we have to maintain it. We have to get a system maintaining or getting the facility active all the time. Not only the building, because we do included with landscaping, right? So the landscaping is like trying to get the environment so beautiful. Like we have plant flowers, so it's kind of a complete package that we kind of do. So we have to be part of the system to always make sure that the system is
Things are going
working
right.
every day, right? Your building is really working all the time.
So what about residential?
Yes.
Residential, is
Yeah,
it
yeah,
going
yeah.
to be the same way, whereby you're going to finance it, or you're going to be? I know if I have
No,
my cash,
for-
yes, you can do
yeah,
it for me. That's fine.
for residential, we can work with a bank because
Okay,
for that, yeah, some people are working, and you have to be somebody working, so we know that you have an income coming in. We can still get the loan from the bank to build it for you, but the loan will be collected in your name based on
in the
how
bank
much you make per month, right? So it's kind of like a mortgage system.
system.
So we get the money, we build a house for you, then you are paying it to the bank, right? That is for residential. But that we have to know that you have uh, um, say you have a job that you're doing that you get paid every
I mean
month.
that's going to be verified those things first before.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
So
So now
that.
let's talk about maintenance.
Mhm.
Right, you're coming in with something that's going to be quite new a little bit
Yeah.
to the system. How are people going to know how is the maintenance going to be? Is it
The buildings are very durable. Like every living building, right? When you finish any house, any building, either cement, clay, or any building, no matter which material you use, because most of our materials are engineered, right? Um, you have over 50 years lifespan, over 50 years, right?
mhm.
Before you say that, okay, the building is going to be weak enough. Because even in the advanced country, they still renovate their buildings,
Yeah,
right? Twice.
consistently? Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And, like for the interior, uh, if you are somebody that lives and you are clean, your house will always be clean, right? It's not like the material we are going to use are just whack material. So you see,
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. I wanted to know that it's just
yeah,
like a normal house. It's not like
normal house. Yeah,
the
very
maintenance
durable.
is going to be different. Just okay, all right.
Yes, yes,
That's
yes.
good. That's
So
good. That's
you
good.
don't need to
All
be
right.
maintaining like say every year. No, no. Even with the outside walls, you don't even need to paint them because we'll be using the big bricks, and then the interior will be a different form of material, right? To make the
Okay.
walls as thick as possible, right?
Okay. So now let's talk about when should we expect this. I know it's something you don't want to go there, but I
Yeah.
just want to push a little bit. And say, hey,
Yeah.
when should we start expecting this?
Oh, so okay. So let me also talk about our renovation program. So we also have we call it urbanization, right?
Mhm.
So urbanization is one of our projects that will be undertaken in smaller communities. So, for instance, let's say we come to a community where it's like most of the buildings are pretty local. So, if I say local, you understand clay
Yeah,
and
we get it.
those kind of stuff. So, we have a renovation program where we can also um, we can redesign your house, right? And finish it with advanced kitchen, bathroom, and then, even if the roof is really not really good, we still advance. If it's a clay building, we use our prepared, like locally made prepared clay materials, where we have like clean sand, clay. We've processed them ourselves, right? So we use it to finish the walls. We plaster it to the walls will be as smooth as finishing with a cement, like cement, right? But it's clay, right? Then we can also waterproof the walls so that when it rains and the rain is just falling on the walls, it doesn't look like the wall is coming down, right? And then the interior too, we also advance it, make it look pretty, advanced with kitchen, bathroom into it if you don't have those there. However, without saying that, we also have this sanitation program where it's like, oh, if you go to a small community where some people don't even know have toilets in their houses, right? So we dig in one central station where we can connect all our sewage.
Like a storage,
Yes,
like the way we do here. Okay.
exactly.
So,
So that it's just one station. So if you want a toilet in your house, we'll just connect the pipe
comment.
from where our line is into your house, and then we connect it for you. So you don't need to dig a manhole or whatever they call it there. All you do is that you pay the premium that, like you pay, we give you a cost to say this is how much it will cost you to get a toilet into your house. So we come renovate the place, put in an advanced shower system for you, where you can also use water closet without going to dig your own manhole, right? So that's one of our renovation project. We want to advance on the old existing buildings into a modern
Yeah,
house.
modified. Okay,
Yes.
that's. I
So,
think that's it. That would be a great thing.
oh yes,
And I think that is going to catch fire because I think a lot of people want to improve.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't have to break them away. Why should we
yeah,
break?
I'm saying it.
We
Yeah,
have to
because
advance on them, right?
advanced. Yes,
We
yes.
are advancing. Like I told you, like if you look at most of this, our local buildings, they've been there 100 years.
Yeah,
Right? The only thing we need is how we can bring in this modern technology to advance it. Get nice roofing, insulate the roof so that if the sun is hot, you don't feel it inside. Right?
yeah,
After our buildings start growing up in Ghana, I don't see no will be more than not me saying it, but you hear it. You hear that.
I think it looked very promising when you're saying it. So, like you said, if it start, coming up, and yeah, I think it's going to catch fire. All right.
Yes.
So let me um, let me ask this also. Like right now, uh, I know you spend most of your time in Ghana and all that. Heading positions about some few jobs coming and all that. And you came here. You came to start all over, start learning, and be in the field that you want to be. Uh, See, this program is all about shifting our paradigm.
Yes.
And what do you, where do you have for the youth, the young ones that are back home struggling to do something? Because it looks as if you have advanced and stay focused on trying to do what you want to do. You know, I know people that have gone out of Ghana, and they are not everyone is doing well. So it looks as if you've been doing well for yourself. What world do you have for these people that are struggling? It's not like maybe they want to even get out of the country, but even within the what word do you have for them?
Okay. So what I want to tell the youth is that I know growing up, right? We all wanted to be successful in life, right? Every youth that is coming want to see success. Every youth that is coming want to see some kind of improvement in their life. But the question that we always fail to ask ourselves is that what are we doing ourselves, like then in terms of ourselves, building our social life capacity, right? Because for instance, like I employed one young guy from KTI. He was a plumber, a young guy. So when I said that, because I like to give the young people the opportunity, right? So when I gave him the job, every amount he asks, I pay him. The reason wasn't because I wanted to motivate him so that he's happy doing what he's doing, because he went to KTI to learn plumbing, right? And I wanted to help the young people, right? Even when I was in Ghana, when every project I do, my staff or the people I work are always young. My headmistress was just right from university. Somebody said, well, why don't you employ the old person that have experience, right? But that is not what I believe in. I believe in the youth.
Giving people a chance. Yeah.
Yes, I'm just saying this to make my. So when I brought this young guy in, and then I told him to go get pipes, because we're building underground, right? So almost 9 feet of our building is underground. It's down, is in the soil right now. So before we do that, Everyone was saying, no, you can't do that. And I said, no, that's fine. So we did it, but we have to put underground pipes under it so that every water that goes around the building will have to be drained to somewhere. So this young guy, I gave the chance to as a plumber, and I sent him money to go buy pipes. When I sent him money to buy 10 pipes, he went to buy 9, right? And then I asked him to send me photos of the pipes. He couldn't send me. So later he called my supervisor on site that if I called, he should tell me that he bought 10 pipes. And the supervisor said, but you only have 9 here, right? So anyways, honesty, right? There are a lot of people that want to grow as youth, but if we don't, the little truth that we tell, it makes a big difference, right? Because even here, it's not like everybody is an angel, right? Even in Canada, not everybody is an angel. There are always, one or two spoiled rat, but the youth coming should make honesty and to be part of their integrity, because that will help a lot.
Yeah, this is what I'll say about when it comes to integrity. What I've realized is I have people that I work with myself back home, and when when you talk to them, I think when we want to work with them, we have to explain stuff to them. You see, when you look at I was we were just talking about it this morning. Where in the world do they have like very secure security is so tight when it comes to everything?
Yeah,
it's the Western world.
Yes.
Why do you think they have that security so tight?
Exactly.
Yeah, by even them, their intention.
Yes.
They're intentional about teaching people what is good and what is not good. I think we think you should know.
Yes.
But I don't think it should be that way.
No, it's not.
Yeah, we have to be intentional teaching them that stealing is bad and all that. But we think we should know.
No,
if you're working with somebody and you start talking to them about that, and the people I've worked with, when I start talking to them about those things, I see changes.
Oh, of course.
One of the guys, like he said, boss, look, before I was doing cut and all that, but now that I stop doing all those things and being straight, we see some crack change.
Yes.
See, so I think we should start telling them, and especially when you are back in a place like Ghana.
Yes.
So you don't get credit like Canada or UK or US. So your integrity is your credit.
Yes.
So your credit. So I think when you start talking
and just to add to what you said, right? Like, no, we can blame them also too much. Yeah. I know somebody will say, why am I saying that? But some of the people that also come down to invest to do business, right? They intend to take advantage of our people, right? By not paying them right? So it also becomes a problem, right? So we should also, the people that are coming down there have interest to invest in the country should also look at how we can improve the people's life, right? By trying to be fair with them, giving them what is due, so that, because like I told you, I believe in quality. So quality means that you spend good money to do what you're doing, and then you'll be able to make good money, right? Because, but yeah, I know the youth are very hardworking and they need training. Shudi, you can go to that toy room. Just wait, I'll take you there. You can pour the rest in a bag down, right? So we should train our staff, right? If you employ anybody, give them training, tell them the pros and cons, what they can do, what they cannot do. And those that get caught in the net, you punish them, right? Even if you have to make sure that you take them to jail or something like that. So it deters people from the system. Not always saying, oh, Ghana for, no, it's not like
that is the whole thing I was trying to say. Like, we are fan of Ghana for, but what I'm saying is when you talk to them and you start talking to them, showing them, if you're intentional about them, telling them, they catch it, because nobody is teaching that, right? No. Let's say even the government, you get a job, you just go, no orientation about this is, don't steal, don't do this. We have here, they do it here. Why do you think they would do it? And they have very tight security measures.
work ethics.
Yeah.
And we
What?
should also advance in what we're doing, like
Yeah.
cameras and that kind of stuff should be part
Yeah.
of our industrial building, right? You
Mm-hmm.
don't sit here and build a business and then expect that all the money that will be coming in the business will go in there. No, even here, if you go to Tim Hortons and stuff, they have cameras that
Yeah.
sit
Why do
in
you think they have them?
exactly. If there were angels there, then why would they even
Yeah.
want the cameras there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
All
So
right. All right. So once we bring it to the end, I will leave you. I will leave the floor for you. Tell us whatever you want to tell us. Tell us, the things we want to hear about
so
the
what I want to
project and
say is that
everything.
what I want to say is that the building industry in Ghana is really a hot market. I was just doing a research, and it's almost like a 6 billion market right now, right? So
You mean
and
dollars, right?
sorry.
Dollars, right? $6 billion.
Yes, $6 billion. Yes, that's the market right now in Ghana. That's the infrastructure gap that need to be filled, right? The agriculture is also around 10 billion, right? So it means that there's a lot of opportunity down there that people, the diaspora that want to go home and invest, uh, those opportunities are there. We should also try to advance, train our people, give them training so that they understand what is good and what is bad, and not always speak negative of our country. It's really affecting the people down there, right? Because we are always speaking ill of our country, and it's not really good. But like, it's really not good, right? Like, we shouldn't pay attention to the negative naysayers. Yes, it's not the best as we all wish, but I know that a country, all the rich countries were not built in a day. It took time. It took people's effort to get to where they are. And Nkrumah started. Other people are doing what they can. We cannot put everything on government. The private sectors in US, in Canada are driving the country. So yes, we can build a country together, as Ghanaians, right? So we wish them all the best as Christmas is coming. Everybody should do their best and stay safe. Work hard to help the country.
Thank you so much, George. And I know the next time we'll be talking to you, project is already going on. That's what we're expecting. Yeah,
Yeah,
the next
I'll
time.
send you photos of the
Yeah,
ones we are
yeah.
working on, so that our next project, our next talk, you see some of our buildings and the designs and
Thank
stuff.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
So,
so much
folks,
for the opportunity.
you're welcome. So, folks, yeah, all hands on deck. We can't just leave everything to government. If we want to build our nation, it has to be all hands on deck. And as a matter of fact, even government don't usually, you know, produce work. They give the chance, or they make the environment very conducive for people to be able to create jobs. And that is what we should be yelling for. That's what we should be expecting. No government doing everything for us. Like I said earlier on, this program is where we are helping people to shift their paradigm. Don't wait. The two ways, events or you happening to it yourself. Don't wait. Just happen to it yourself. Listen to a program like this, read books, seminars to be able to shift your paradigm. Until that note, make sure you spend wisely, save intentionally, and be generous. And subscribe to the channel, Patrick Barfi channel, and get a live show on paradigm shift every Wednesday. Until that note, talk to you guys later. My name is Patrick Barfi. Bye-bye.